Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today I'm going to be doing a review of Wide Open by Shelley Crane. This is a new adult novel that's really light on the new adult side. I think it could even be classified as young adult, but the characters are older in age, so that's why I would say it was new adult. But it's a new adult novel about Milo, who had a really bad past, and about Maya, who also has had a really rocky past. They're both recovering addicts, and both have had really bad things happen to them in the past, and they kind of help each other get over these things in non-destructive ways. And I really enjoyed this story. This is a companion slash sequel to the Wide Awake series, which I really enjoyed when I first read it, and then there was also a novella released near Christmas time called Wide Spaces that I absolutely loved. It was so good, and this one I loved as well. It was just it was so cool to see Milo in his actual environment, I guess, because when we first met him, he was just a destructive person and he just had all these destructive qualities, and then we get to see him grow and just become a well-rounded person, so that's really awesome. One thing I will add, it was kind of weird reading about a guy named Milo because that's my dog's name, so I was kind of giggling here and there, but it was still just such a great story. I ended up giving this story a 4 out of 5 stars, and when we get into it, I'll let you know why. I just had a few things that kind of bothered me, but nothing too serious. So anyways, let's just get into my overall thoughts. This story was a lot different than anything I've seen by Shelley Crane. I've read almost all of Shelley Crane's books. I love her as an author. She's a great author, and this story was a lot more serious, or a lot yeah, I just feel like the characters themselves had to deal with really serious situations, and I liked the way that she portrayed them in her story. It was kind of, I wouldn't say 100% realistic, but it was a lot more realistic than some that I've seen when dealing with this subject matter. I also love the writing style. I can just see how Shelley has grown so much. I love Shelley Crane, I love Shelley Crane, and she's just grown as an author, and I love that, and I love seeing that in authors, and I'm just so happy the way the story turned out. It's just awesome. I'm gonna look at my notes. Let's talk about some of the things that I didn't necessarily enjoy. There wasn't anything that stood out where I was reading it and was like turned off about it. There wasn't anything I was like, oh, that's not real, or I don't like that. It was more of, there was one specific thing, how the characters themselves they were hiding their secrets from each other, or they were afraid to tell each other certain things, or hiding these just certain things that they felt like was condemnable. They were hiding it and not opening up, and I can see where that can get annoying because it just, I don't know. It's hard to explain because on one hand I see that they are recovering addicts, so they've done things that they feel are unforgivable. They've done things that they feel like people would look down on them and no one would trust them, and things that they just feel are the most awful things because they were there doing them. And so they don't want to tell somebody that they can potentially love about these things because they don't want that person to think badly about them, and they don't want them to leave them over silly things, or not silly things, but things that they had done in their past. But at the same time, when reading from a rational point of view where, I have no concept of what it means to be an addict, I can see where it can get annoying, where it's like they're not going to care because he was an addict too and she was an addict, so you both are in the same boat, so they're not going to care. And I can see where that can annoy a lot of people, and it didn't necessarily annoy me, but I just was a little like, come on, like pushing him a little further. But it was hard for me to justify being annoyed by it because I can also read into it and see where, done something that they feel is completely unforgivable, and they don't feel like anybody will forgive them. And I don't know, it's just very interesting to read. Very heavy stuff in this book, but overall it was very nicely done. The other thing that I just didn't necessarily like was how short the story was. I feel like there could have been a lot more told in both. I don't know, I feel like it was done very quickly. Everything was wrapped up nice with a little bow. There was no major conflict. Everything was just kind of done, and it was beautiful and, you know, worked very well, but I feel like there could be a lot more, it had a lot more potential. I feel like it could have just been done meatier, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it was a bad book or anything like that, just that I felt like there could have been some more to the story. However, I don't think it took away from the story, and I still highly recommend it, and if you like Shelley Crane, you'll love this book. It was just really, really good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I remember just now that there's one more thing, and just, this happens a lot with Shelley's books, is that her romance is so sweet that it's like sickly sweet. Sometimes it's just so ooey gooey, and it's not necessarily cheesy, but it's just so sweet, and it's like, ugh, just give me some conflict, be a bad boy, you know, but that's just personal preference. I don't know. But anyways, I really enjoyed this story. I thought it was really great, and if you haven't read any Shelley Crane, I'm not sure what you're doing. You need to read her because she's just an amazing author, and I just love everything that she puts out. I just can't help it. It's so good. So anyways, I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I really enjoyed it. I think the story was great. It wasn't anything, I mean, it had serious moments, but it wasn't anything I took way too seriously. It was just a nice romantic read, you know, just one of those romances that you need in your life to make you feel better kind of thing. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to talk about for this book. I hope you guys check out the book. If you are going to check it out, let me know if you want to read it. Let me know if you have read it, if you liked it or disliked it, if you know, agree or disagree with anything that I said, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Go check out Shelley Crane, and I will link the Goodreads page down below for Wide Open, and I'll see you later. Bye!